Welcome Capricorn to your 2023 annual forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and if you would like to find out more about me, just check out the info in the description box below. And if you want to see your in-depth current monthly reading, please go to the playlist on my channel, and it's very easily set out. And you can see what is going on. Now, I'm going to take 12 cards, one for each month of the year, and we'll get into it right now. And for January, we have the Magician. That's obviously coming out, whatever that may be. There's the King of Cups. This is the King of Swords. This is the Sun. Ah, great. I'm so glad you've got that card, I must say. Let's have a look. There's the Two of, that's interesting, the Two of Coins, or Pentacles, as it's very often known. This is, of course, what? The Devil. Well, you can't get a better Capricorn energy than that of the Devil, I think. Let's see. I've got a lot of Capricorn around that. Even though some people have Scorpio attached to it, I see it very much an intermixture of the two. Now, let's have a look. The Wheel of Fortune for July, and this is the Ace of Pentacles. The Lovers. The Queen of Pentacles. Boy, you've got a lot of people in your spread. Ah, there's the Nine of Cups, and isn't that great to see? Jupiter and Pisces, and there is the Two of Swords. Excellent. Now, I'll bring the camera around, so why don't you come sit down next to me? We'll have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Wow, what a great spread for you. Let's look in January 1st, and you really can't get a better energy than this, which is the Magician, or who I call the Magus of Power. And there's a great degree of Mercury around here. This is Mercury, who is the... Mercury balances great skill for you at the moment, and he is a genius at using all the possibilities available to him. And isn't this great for you at the start of the year? Now, in his duality, Mercury stands for truth and falsehood. He brings all set ideas and judgments into question, which can often make him appear in a questionable light himself. But as a creative creature, he knows no conscience. And I mean that in a good way. He uses all tools, all methods to arrive at his goal. The temptation to misuse his talents is great. His ability and skill lend him superiority and power, and he moves on the narrow border between white and black magic. This means he needs constant self-examination. He can use his talents in a self-seeking manner or in the service of love and light. You have at your disposal brilliant capabilities which you can share with other people. Now, one important task is to find or create the proper surroundings for your activities. Just really do a self-analysis and say, in what area lies your best talents, and stick with them. And what methods can you employ to use them? Visualize your ideal area of activity. And say this: the full expression of my creative potential fulfills me, and it makes me happy and satisfied. Now that takes us then into February, and here we have the Knight of Cups. The Lord of Waves and Waters is what I call him. Now I think Aquarius is going to be important to you, and so is Pisces. Now, These court cards, of course, can be of either gender, but I'll refer to him as a man for the obvious reason. And this is a man with commitment issues. Now, he's someone who's friendly, but passive, I think. He can be attracted to excitement, and he has an unsustainable enthusiasm. He's sensitive, but deep down, he's actually really shallow. I think there is here the need for you to see that you have a capacity for giving, and you'll be reaching higher emotional planes. Now, he tends to mismanage his affairs, and without luck, this could be someone that you know. It could be that Aquarius or Pisces. And without luck, his career can be an unbroken record of failure. And his mental civil wars, because esoterically as a king, he's fire, and in water, he's cups. And so they don't mix together. These mental civil wars can lead to substance abuse here. Now, one thing I will say about this person, and the lesbian and gay members of the audience can make the necessary adjustment, but the opposite sex likes him, and he likes the opposite sex. He's charming, but he's not very deep. Probably someone who is really ruled by emotions and not very practical. And to tell you the truth, it's someone who'll generally try to talk their way out of paying for their share of the expenses. He's often intensely insecure and needing reassurances. At the worst, he's unfaithful, fickle, shallow, highly emotional, and unreliable. Now we go into March, and we have here the Lord of Winds and Breezes, otherwise known as the King of Swords. Now, he's very different to that King of Wands that was there. And what does he have to say to you at this time? Well, Gemini and Taurus are likely to be important to you. I'm getting a lot of Gemini and a lot of Taurus here. I think it's because you are going to have the energy of the mind in Gemini with the influence and stability and determination of Taurus. So you will be active, clever, skillful, probably quite fierce and courageous, but there is the chance that you may not be very that you might just be impulsive from time to time. He represents the idea of attack, you see, of the violent power of motion applied. He is the wind, the storm, and he has such skills as subtlety and cleverness. I think he is also someone who can be altogether consumed by whatever the current idea is that comes to him, really by way of inspiration rather than research, and without reflecting on whether or not, without doing a audit on whether or not the thing can be made practical. Nevertheless, you're going to be getting a clear insight into a problem, working quickly to set goals, and don't let anything get in your way. I do feel that this is going to be a restless period for you here in March, where you want to get somewhere else, either in your everyday life or maybe in travel. And it's definitely a time in March to use your head rather than your heart. Yeah, there's a restlessness in all aspects of life going on at the moment. Maybe you want to change the way things are going on in your environment or in the workplace, I think. But here comes the cavalry. And it is the Sun, the Lord of the fire of the word. Well, you are going to be highly creative and energetic this time, and there's a great awareness that's going to be here with you. I also see fulfilled love relationship, wisdom, a degree of spirituality, and transformation. Incidentally, isn't that just a beautiful image that's there? The artist has done a good job on that one, that's for sure. Now, the sun, of course, is the source of life, and it represents success and abundance, and this is going to be part of you in this period here in April. The energy is going to get you through any tough times. The sun is going to illuminate your path also after what may have been some trying times. But it's saying to you to embrace your goals and give it everything that you've got. And if you have had tough times, and I think we're talking about 2022, then things are getting better or have got better. And it's also saying this to me. Look at that little child there, remove any layers of negativity that overlay you. This, you see, is a time where you can move mountains. And I have to tell you, I get a very strong feeling of marriage around it as well. So you may hear of that. And also pregnancy. Then we have the Lord of Harmonious Change, otherwise known as the Two of Discs. Well, this is Jupiter ruling the first decan of your sign of Capricorn. Now, although that's possibly inharmonious, because Jupiter is all about expansion. And of course, well, I mean, deep down, Capricorn is quite conservative, isn't it, and practical, which Jupiter is not. But I think that with the card of the devil here and the sun there, I don't think that there's any problems at all. This is about change and transformation for you. And it's a time to go with the flow. The change is bringing you back into balance, and your well-being is going to be really good. There's movement here, flux, having a few ups and downs, but growth through change. I think you're going to have quite a heavy workload, incidentally. Multitasking is something that you're going to be doing, but enjoying your work, and isn't that great? And there's a welcome change coming along, which is going to be moving you into a better phase. Now then in June, we have these cards around it. It is Saturn in Capricorn with Mars exalted is what I see here. The Lord of the Gates of Matter. Well, this is very procreative, very productive energy for you at this time. There's a new vitality. I think your sense of humor is really going to be just on form. And I think that there is a great degree of sensuality here. Now, Saturn rules Capricorn, and Mars is exalted in Capricorn, and Mars governs your sex drive and your creative energy. So this energy has a very strong link to the material side of life. And it also has a link to self-ambition. Now, Capricorn is opposite Cancer on the zodiac wheel at the top, and in the winter solstice, around about 25th of December, thereabouts, and that takes place. So this means that rather you will have the decisions to act where Cancer may otherwise be delaying itself. There's a great focus on sexuality here, I think that this card to me, this energy implies that you can accomplish a lot if focused. And of course, the devil isn't distracted by anything else. He's very focused and he is task bound. Now, astrologically, you know that your sign of Capricorn is the sign of business, career, and worldly success and social standing. And you will be hardworking and high-achieving. I will say also that at this time it's important that you do accept that you have an ambitious side, but see it for what it is, without becoming a slave to it. But you will have a strong desire to compete, to improve, and to win, but keep a balance between the material side of life and your emotional, spiritual side. I think you're going to be sexually attracted to someone, or they might be sexually attracted. Look, you're going to be very sexually attractive in general, I think, with this energy here, with that Sun card and this 2 coming through, that Capricorn there. Other people are going to find you very attractive, so do with that what you will. Now we then come into July, and we have the Lord of the Forces of Life, otherwise known as the Wheel of Fortune. Now what this is telling me, with everything else that's going on here, Jupiter is here. And Jupiter is bringing a change of fortune, and it's a good change that's coming in here. There's a new beginning, expansion, creativity, a big breakthrough, unexpected fortune, sort of as if it's just come out of the blue. There's good luck around here. Take chances, because there are going to be successes in them, but just protect yourself from the downside of things. And there's opportunity here. Now, I think life is changing around you, but there's also a life-changing chance meeting that's liable to happen here. This is a definite yes. So be ready to act on any unexpected opportunities. But when times are good, stay centered, because things change. Three things are always around: birth, change, and death. But certainly, I think that if no miracles are happening now, something is wrong. You stand before the possibility of a great breakthrough, so use this moment. Now, what's coming behind it? Well, this makes a lot of sense. Yes, you see, the root of the powers of the earth. Now, Gemini, Aries, and Taurus are liable to be important to you at this time. This is talking to me of inner and outer richness. Great success, you see, following on from that card there of the Wheel of Fortune. They don't lie, do they? Now, there is the unification of body and soul, material and spirit, heaven and earth. Wholeness is what you're having here. There is the beginning now of something really tangible, this prosperity and growth, certainly improving finances, maybe a promotion or a pay rise here, but certainly good luck. And I must say that you will have a chance of some unexpected money coming along to you. Definitely, you are going to have a deep well of grounded, practical, organizational ability that's going to last into and through the next 12 months. Yeah, things are really moving along for you. And then you get into July, August, September, and you need to make a decision on something here, I think. Yeah, I think you are going to need to be looking at all angles before making a decision. The other thing is, I think that you could well be acting as a mediator or a peacemaker between people who are arguing. I see people coming to you to see if you can sort out their problems or give them some advice, because you will need to look at harmony in relationships. Now, there is the need, I think, to make a major life choice on the direction ahead of you. That's what I'm seeing here. It may not seem like a major choice at the time, but when you look back in a year or two, you go, oh, I see how that happened. I also see here that there's going to be could well be a strong mutual attraction and a sexual connection. But again, this is a major arcana card, so I don't see any sexual connection as being just a casual affair. Rather, I think it's going to develop into something of a relationship, or the deepening of an existing relationship. Do you know, the meaning of this energy centers around the reconciliation of opposites, really, bringing things together, partnerships, love, being committed. I also see an engagement here. Now, someone is going to be choosing between two lovers. And in October, we see that we have the Queen of the Thrones of the Earth, the Queen of Pentacles. I think Sagittarius is going to be important to you during this period here. Now, this is a woman. Of course, court cards are of either gender, but I'll refer to her as a woman because she started as a queen. And she has these qualities, and I think you'll have them. You'll be ambitious, affectionate and kind, charming, almost irresistible, but we saw that before, so this is still dragging into this month as well. Very practical. And this is very good for people who are involved in home duties rather than having an external career. You are going to be ambitious, but I think that this is a time that you should work with instinct and intuition and follow those things which have worked in the past, rather than experimenting with something new and over-intellectualizing things. So I think you'll be a hard worker in a practical, sensible way. But interestingly, you could also be very lusty and sexy. And I think there is a chance of drinking too much, if I may say so. This is a time where you will also be interested in physical nourishment. And this is a time where you will be overcoming a barren past, just as this Sun card was talking to you. In fact, it's sitting underneath the Sun card, if you can see there. And it's reaffirming that the problems of 2022 are dealt with. Now, this is saying to me that you should stay practical, compassionate, and have a nurturing attitude to others and your own circumstances, and go with the flow, as I say. Now, she represents health and diet, and so I think it's also important that you look at those things and maybe get some exercise as well. So this is a time for you to go forward quietly without producing any Russian revolutions. And that takes us into November, the month of Thanksgiving for our American audience. And, well, this is just such a great card to be having at this time of year. It is Jupiter in the second decan of Pisces. It is the Lord of material happiness for me. Now, Jupiter rules Pisces, so there's very strong complementary energy here. And Jupiter's philosophical approach aligns well with Pisces' spirituality. Jupiter also brings great good luck and happiness to you. And what we see here for you is bliss, overflowing love, deep joy, blessings. You have fulfillment in love that's here. Now, the influence of Jupiter in the sign of Pisces creates more than a feeling of mere sympathy. A great sense of blessedness arises from total joy. The quality of this joy shows that it is deeply rooted like a tree. It is not the result of some superficial pleasure. It speaks of bliss, which derives its energy from the deepest reaches of a soul at peace. Say to yourself then at this time, happiness is my natural condition. And to end the year, we have this. Well, I think you'll be winding things down and taking things a bit easier in December than you have throughout the rest of the year, because this is the moon ruling the first decan of Libra. Look, with the moon in the sign of Libra, you'll likely have a deep need for peace and harmony in your life. Now, Libra, of course, is symbolized by the scales in astrology, isn't it? And this can relate to any area of your life that requires balance, and that could include things like your personal environment, your workplace, relationship with others. Now, the purpose of this card, I don't think, is either good or bad. I think it's about neutrality, so there's balance here. I think that you're going to be considering through the month of December, ready for the following year, as to what areas of your life are especially important to you, because I think that you will now come calmly to the necessary decisions that are going to take you into January, February, March, April, and next year as well. Take the time for deep relaxation. You are in a good position to examine your past, present, and future. And just know that a deep peace is going to fill your heart. Well, good job, you. Well, I hope you enjoyed that reading as much as I enjoyed providing it to you. I think that this is going to be a fantastic 2023 for you. Truly I do. And I think it's something that you should be looking forward to. And because it's got great things in store, as you have just seen. And do have a look at the monthly readings that I provide, and you can check that out on the playlist or subscribe and get notified so that you see where these things are. But until I see you again, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. And until then, it's bye for now.